Bleeding Purple Podcast.
Deep block, steps up in the pocket. Hill fires the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay alive. Oh my God! 30, no tag. Are you kidding me? The finish in the Minneapolis way. Stephon Diggs in the middle of the Vikings have walked off on the New Orleans Saints. It's a 61-yard Minneapolis miracle. I couldn't believe what I just saw. What an unbelievable play.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Hay. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. Hello, sir.
Hey. That was really dumb.
Say
Hi,
how
hey,
interesting.
All right, I'll
We
take
can
it.
edit that one out. We'll
Keep that in there.
I edited that out last week. I have a confession to make. I edited.
Oh, yeah.
I edited a portion of.
I did notice that.
Yep, the end of the last episode. That's as far as we're gonna go with it. I just wasn't feeling it, and I had to get rid of it.
It was some controversy.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It was goofy. It was just goofy. But that was last week. This is this week. Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Welcome back.
Good. Nice 85 degrees out here in sunny San Diego.
It's just never going to be spring here. It's
snowing
just
back where I grew up too, in New York. It's snowing there too.
Oh my god, it's the
Not
worst. And I also heard today, it's going to be like 58 degrees here, and I was like, yeah, oh my god, that sounds amazing. And then somebody also told me that on Saturday it's supposed to snow again. So I'm just over it, and I hate it, and I don't want to do this anymore, and I just want to see some grass, man. That's all. Just grass on the ground. That's all I want. Back to football. So let's talk a little bit about jerseys. The Vikings gave jersey numbers to
Their new player.
Yes, their new player, their new acquisitions. They gave Mr. Wright the same number as Mr.
Serious, right? Yeah. So disrespectful.
That's my question. When is it okay for a team to recycle a number like that? Because I think this is totally okay, and it's just saving a bunch of people a bunch of money on. I mean, well, I guess if you had a Jarius Wright jersey, you're probably pretty disappointed that he's not playing on the team right now.
If you had a Jarius Wright jersey, you're one of the few people who had a Jarius Wright jersey.
Yeah, I think that was probably a custom jersey. Let's be real about that.
Yeah. Unless
real.
you were a family member, probably.
I think it's okay that they gave him the same number, but a better example of a number that they did this with was 84 after Randy Moss left, and then they gave it to. Yeah. How do you feel about that? What are the rules? Let's take some time here on this podcast and make. I think it
depends
rules.
On the type of player, or like how good the player was, because I don't think anyone's worn number 80 since Chris Carter left. I don't think they gave that one to anyone.
But Randy Moss was real. I mean, but do you think Chris Carter, because he retired? Well, even though he still left angrily and went to Miami.
I don't think it was angrily. I think he just wanted to keep playing,
and they didn't want him to be on the team.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you think that they haven't given that number out because he was in better standing? Do you think that has a lot to do with it? Do you think Kleinsasser's number should have not been given out the next year? Because that, although he wasn't like an all-pro, Pro Bowl superstar type player, did they give it to the dude?
I think Kentrell Brothers actually wears 40 right now. And that was his number.
No respect. No respect to.
Well, they only have so many numbers they can give, and specific numbers are for each like position group too. So
I guess, but
teams don't really like to retire numbers or unofficially retire numbers just because they need a lot of numbers.
Yeah, well, because then you wind up being the Yankees, where everybody's wearing 76 and 78 because there are no other numbers to give out because all of the good numbers, all the single-digit numbers are retired.
Well, at least with the Yankees, you only need like 20 players a game, so if that. Or in baseball, I mean. But I don't think it's disrespectful. He was here for 5 years. I think I'm actually more surprised that the Vikings didn't give Kendall Wright a New Jersey because then they could make more money.
More money on jersey sales. They probably thought
not
the same thing.
Not that they made a ton of money on Jarius Wright jersey sales, which I thought was kind of funny when people were like, you keep your Jarius Wright jerseys the same.
Who's got that jersey? There's nobody has that.
Who has that? Good for you if you have one.
I'm sure we're gonna get a bunch of tweets now of people like wearing their Jarius Wright jerseys.
Sure, I would like to see those. I like him as a player.
Exist. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I have nothing against the guy, but I don't think he was the type of player that people bought his jersey to go to the games. I think people actually would probably. There's more people that probably own Blair Walsh's jersey than Jarius Wright.
And that's a travesty. Mm-hmm. That's a separate episode.
Certainly more people that own Christian Pondy's jersey than Jarius Wright.
Certainly more. Definitely, 100%. Does it have to be a Hall of Fame player before you take the number out of circulation? Do you think that should be the benchmark?
I think he's got to be a record holder, like for the team. I mean, I think Randy Moss was only with the Vikings for the first stint was like 7 years. So maybe they felt like that wasn't long enough. I mean, things probably obviously weren't on good terms when he left.
Well, and I'm sure it's a lot easier to put a number back into circulation when you can look at somewhere else in the league and see that guy still playing. You know, if he had played, like, if that would have been the end of his career. And
I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see maybe if Adam Thielen continues to play really well, like after he retires, if they give 19 to somebody, or maybe with Stephon Diggs 14, stuff like that. Oh man,
it's so.
Maybe see if they give away Laquan Treadwell's number.
Whoa. It's so the Thielen is difficult though, because he, and this is a separate conversation too, about the like one of us mentality, the like Minnesotan. So if he continues this for 3 more seasons, he's a god forever here, and it doesn't.
Well, it's interesting because they've given people like 69. They've given Jared Allen's number, and Sheldon Richardson just got 93. That's been Kevin Williams and John Randall.
That one I didn't like. That 93 got put back right out. I'm trying to think of other ones that I had issues with. 84 I had an issue with for sure.
Yeah, to a lot of people.
Yeah, Kleinsasser. I mean, that's fake outrage, but I noticed it. I guess we'll say that.
They gave Culpepper to Treadwell.
That's true. That should be acknowledged.
Has any quarterback wore? I don't know if I've seen any players wear number 10.
I don't think 4's been out since.
Oh, 4's been out there.
Who wears 4?
I believe
that jersey's in the Hall of Fame.
One of the backups last year. I can't remember. He played it was Stave. I think he wore number 4.
Huh. That one. That doesn't bother me. I just couldn't think of anybody that had.
He wasn't there long enough.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, I don't know of any quarterbacks that have worn 10. Maybe like Kelly Holcomb, but not any recently. So that's Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, and that would make sense. Which one of those of the Ring of Honor guys have they taken any of those out? I don't know if I can't think of any. I mean, obviously Chris Carter numbers of the guys in the Ring of Honor who are. Is that one of the
88? I don't think anyone wears Alan Page's number. I think that number's been retired.
I think 80 is out as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's many.
Because wasn't Johnny Randall, wasn't he 93 is also?
Yeah.
And so
he's in the Hall.
Here, okay, let's shift the conversation a little bit. Is maybe a better way to do this the way that the soccer world does it, or I guess to a certain extent the Dallas Cowboys and their wide receiver, where they just have the number and that means more. And then if you're like Des Bryant, you're a great wide receiver. If you are a great wide receiver and you play for the Dallas Cowboys, and we think you're the chosen one, you get to wear 88 because that's like the number. Or in soccer, a lot of times it's 10, I think, is like the big.
Oh, yeah.
If you're the dude, you wear 10.
Or 9.
9, is it? I don't know. I only half get into.
That's different, though, because that's like international.
That's positional, too. I think that has something to do with it. Anyways, but kind of.
I found the Vikings retired number.
Oh, nice. Thank you for looking that up.
It's Fran Tarkenton, number 10.
Okay.
Mick Tinglehoff, 53.
Okay.
Jim Marshall, 70.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not in the Hall of Fame.
But that makes sense that they would do that. He should.
Corey Stringer, 77.
Yeah, that one makes sense, too.
Chris Carter, 80. And Alan Page, 88. That's it.
Okay. That makes sense. Who else? And that's... There's more Ring of Honor members than are retired numbers then, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are the only numbers that they retired. Very interesting.
Yeah. They've let people wear, Blair Walsh's number 3 since he left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. That is true. Gary Anderson, his number, just right back into the rotation.
That's Floater's number. Number 1.
That, I think, is sad. When they signed Janikowski, do you think they should give him that jersey? Speaking of Janikowski,
he's in Seattle. He's met with the Chargers. He's in Seattle now.
He likes the West Coast. We know that. It's obvious.
I'm pretty sure he's got probably a nice family out there. He doesn't want to go to the East Coast.
Yeah, that's probably true. Weather's a little better there than it is on the East Coast as well. I mean, depends on
Seattle's. Seattle's not that.
Seattle's not exactly exotic, is it? It's just a crying shame. It's a here are my two biggest issues so far this offseason. Number 1, no Janikowski. Not even a mention.
Minnesota.
Not even a mention from the Vikings.
I think there has to be interest on both sides, probably.
Well,
you can't blame it all on the Vikings.
Oh, I am. I'm going to. Second, and I'm also blaming the fans and blaming some of the people that like the Vikings who are on Twitter all the time. I blame them too. There's an equal blame to go. Yep. Because they, we think that they're not watching. They watch. They watch to see what the fans want. And no Janikowski, no love. I'm the only one talking Janikowski. Well, they're never going to sign him then. Come on, you guys. So that's how I blame Vikings Twitter for that. What was the other thing? Oh, and then the disrespect. The disrespect that Quigley has been shown. I mean, it's sad, really, for a guy that performed as well as he did to...
Let's wait on, let's see if he has another good season. Then I'll jump on the table with you.
All right.
I need 2 in a row.
No, that's true. You heard it here first.
Just like with Case Keenum, I need 2 in a row. He did well last year, but I'm not convinced right now. I need a little more.
I still have flashbacks of the things I said about Case Keenum before the season last year. I was not.
Oh yeah, when you were by yourself.
Mm-hmm. I was not real excited about. Yeah, I was not real excited about.
Why would you be?
Yeah, good point. And I just. But
he didn't give you any reason to be.
No, he proved me wrong like crazy though.
He barely made the team.
Yeah. People don't remember that. He was almost not even a member of that team last year.
Couple touchdown passes from Heineke, and Keenum's not even on the team.
Man, that's crazy to think about. That's crazy. And he probably, doesn't have a lot of money now and probably is still the backup.
Case Keenum?
Yeah, Keenum probably doesn't get that chance, never gets that opportunity, is still considered a backup in everyone's.
Oh, right. If he doesn't make the team, yeah. He probably would have signed with somebody, but he definitely wouldn't have had the year that he had this year. Mm-hmm. Just works out that way.
It's crazy, man. NFL football is crazy. Speaking of crazy, Sam Bradford and his new team are devising a plan to figure out how best to lift weights to protect a knee that will not stay healthy and has no cartilage in it. I don't know. It's crazy. They call it a health plan. Oh my God, this guy. Although I will say this, it was a Pro Football Focus article. I don't know, man. What are they doing with Bradford, and how is he going to play with a degenerative knee? Why did they give him that much money? How is this good? This can't end well, can it?
So it seems like they're almost like trying to defend their decision to give him so much money now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't believe, like, the strength and conditioning coach, because I wrote about the health plan or whatever, he was like already getting mad about getting tons of questions about Bradford's knee, and like why he wasn't participating in like their conditioning drills when they already started. And it's like, he's fine. I don't know why everyone's asking about it. He'll be fine.
We're just doing it's a customized thing. We do a customized thing for a lot of players.
Well,
why are
42
all of the
games.
Other players over there, and the guy that's missed all these games is in here?
42 games since 2013. That's kind of a big deal. And you just gave him $15 million guaranteed.
And now have him out of the classroom. The class is over here, and you have him in here talking about a health plan for his knee.
And I really don't care if he does well in like the first half of the season, because he could just go down in the blink of an eye.
It just the thing that is so perplexing to me is that these coaches and these like staff members are shocked that people want to know about the guy's knee. And his knee hasn't been healthy in ever. And you guys are like, I don't even know why you're asking these questions. It's like, well, what player have you been watching? And it was Zimmer last year, too. Well, we'll just see. It's like, well, we're asking because he's hurt all the time, man. Like, this isn't outrageous.
Yeah, and the best part about it is Mike Glennon is their backup. So as soon as Bradford goes down, although they could draft somebody.
Yeah,
that could be a place. That could be a place where like Lamar Jackson goes or something like that.
The land of misfit toys is that quarterback room. Ugh, Glennon, Bradford.
Mike Glennon's not even that old. I don't think. I feel like he's like 27. He hasn't been in the league that long.
He's just played. So how many different places? Because he was in Tampa Bay. He was in
just two.
Chicago.
Just two.
That's it. That was only the. Oh God.
Yep. Yep. Jameis Winston's the guy that replaced him. They thought he might have been the guy, but then they were like, no.
Just kidding. I am starting to, as the longer I watch football and the more seasons I witness, the more sympathy I have for the Mike Glennons of the world who are brought in specifically to start a year or two and then let the young guy that you are supposed to mentor now take your job. And Glennon, he went to Tampa Bay and they did that. Went to Chicago and they did that. And now he's going to go to Arizona and they're going to draft somebody and do that. Assuming he even like gets the backup job. But like, what a bummer profession that would be. I'm the guy that teaches your young guy how to like get better at football and then take my job.
He is getting paid millions of dollars. Good point. So I don't feel that bad.
Good point.
To stand on the sideline.
From a like competitor's standpoint, that would be such a bummer to like want to play and to want to play well, and then know that no matter how well you play, there's still this kid that's going to take your job.
Compensation probably makes it a little easier.
I would agree with that. I probably for that kind of money, I'd find a way to just teach the kid.
Who was that guy? Clipboard Jesus that was like a lifetime backup for like the Seahawks.
God, Clipboard Jesus. What is his name?
And the Titans.
Oh, I know. I remember. I just can't think of the name. Yeah. What a gig. See, that, though, different.
That should be like your goal, to get a job like that. Yes. Where you don't have to do anything.
Don't have to do anything.
And you get paid millions of dollars.
And then even if you do have to do something, people are like, well, he's been sitting here the whole time.
And then they'll be like, well, he didn't play a lot, so he still could be pretty good.
And then if you play really well and say throw like 5-6 touchdowns in one game, a lottery. Cash in.
Matt Flynn.
Move on. He wasn't even the starter that season, right? That was the year that they drafted. God, that's unbelievable.
Russell Wilson. He got beat out in camp.
Unbelievable. So he got like generational wealth for basically throwing
One
for
game.
for one.
I think it was a Week 17 game.
Yeah, like the last game
So
of the season.
and the Lions didn't play their starters. I think they were going into the playoffs.
God, what a world we live in. Where that guy gets $15 million. Well, he probably wasn't that much because that was
No, I don't think it was.
nobody
that
was
much.
asking what the guaranteed dollar amount was for Matt Flynn, the Matt Flynn
No.
contract.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when people are, I'll write something about Bradford, and I'll throw a little dig in there about how like the Cardinals are trying to figure out a way for him to play the entire 2018 season. And I'll be like, oh, good luck with that. And people are like, oh, don't kick him when he's down. I'm like, he's getting $15 million guaranteed. I think he's feeling just fine.
He's good to get kicked, you guys. Like, he's rich.
He's made over $100 million in his career.
Here, I know
And
I've said it on the podcast before, but the only thing that I need to not feel bad for Sam Bradford, dude has a statue of himself in front of Oklahoma Stadium. He's good. He's fine. And he's a millionaire. And
he won a Heisman Trophy, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He's got awards.
yeah, he's good. He knows he's good at football.
He'll
doesn't
probably
care
be
that he
like a backup in 5 years on some Super Bowl winning team.
He'll get a ring. You know he will.
Yeah, he'll stick around.
Always do. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, Joe Webb and
Yeah,
Matt Cassel. Both
yeah,
are
still around.
Yep.
Still kicking it.
shocked that Joe Webb is still
Still
just
kicking
around.
it.
Unbelievable.
His last start he had was that playoff game.
Was
against
it?
the Packers.
Oh, poor guy.
That was the last start he had. That was like 4 years ago. That was
That was
disgusting.
rough, man. That was really rough.
Straight missiles into the ground.
You know, I was not happy is the wrong word, but I was glad that had happened because there were so many people, if you'll remember that week, so many people talking about how good Joe Webb could be and they can totally do this. It's the backup quarterback thing where it's, we haven't seen him. He must be. He wasn't. He was never going to be that good. And Christian Ponder wasn't even that good, but yikes, man.
He came off, Ponder was coming off that probably the best game of his career against the Packers to win the division. And then he had a giant bruise
God, just
on his
think
arm.
about those words that you just said.
Giant
Ponder
bruise.
played his best game, the game that they won the division. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Adrian Peterson, I think he also ran for like 250 yards that game too. So.
yeah. Well, and was the second most ever that season. So yeah, Ponder
If
may
Favre,
have benefited from that.
if Favre got that injury though, I'm pretty sure he would have played in the playoff game. That's just the type of player.
That's a hot take. Hot
Yeah.
take.
He played with like a broken ankle.
He did. I think that's probably a safe. Although, if the pictures of Christian Ponder, because I was like, his elbow's hurt. What the God?
It's
It's a
pretty
playoffs,
big
man. It's like,
bruise.
yeah, it looked pretty messed up.
But you should be like icing that up, doing everything you can like every day to make sure you're
Sleeping
ready.
in the hyper cryogen, whatever the Terrell Owens
Cryogenic,
thing.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, sleep in one of those, man. You're rich. First round pick.
Like you
Find
should be
one.
doing everything you can. Like put a brace on it or padding on it. Like I feel like Michael Vick's played in playoff games with like broken ribs before, and he just wore like
And
a vest or something.
I think there may be too much of they're not tough enough and they just kids these days don't get. But I think we have a point here. I think that Christian Ponder
is a playoff.
maybe part of his issue was that lack of grit it out and get it done kind of a thing where he needed to be out there, his team needed him to be out there, and I don't know. And
I mean, he's not out there anymore. So that could tell you all you need to know.
Yep.
I mean, I'm already blocked by his wife on Twitter, so I don't really care.
Did you? Well, we don't need to get it.
She blocks a lot of people.
She does block a lot of people. Yeah, she blocks a lot of people. Speaking of out of the NFL, Rodney Adams has retired.
Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like I'm not entirely shocked, but I didn't think it was going to be a retirement. Because he signed on with the Colts, just I think like a futures deal or something. And then scrolling today, and I see that he retired. And I'm like, oh.
This is, I want to make sure I'm not remembering the wrong player. Is Rodney Adams was the
Vlog.
knee, what?
Vlogger.
Vlog, what?
He had a vlog, like on YouTube. You didn't know that?
God, no.
Yeah.
That was not what I thought you said. I thought you had said something very different. Was he bad knees? He was always had the...
No, it's Greg Childs.
Greg Childs. Okay, good. So I was
Who played
misremembering.
in the spring league this past
Yes,
season.
okay, cool. So that was why he was up in the...
Yep.
Okay.
With Johnny.
Did you see... Where do you see the spring league games? How does one go about watching...
You can go on their Twitter page, and I think they broadcasted them on, it's like Bleacher Report Live. It's just
Okay.
like a service. Bleacher Report just started. It's still in like the beta form, and they used it.
Interesting.
And I think you just have to sign up for an account, which is free, I think.
Cool. I'll have to do that next time. Because they
you
still
can just
have
go on-
another game, correct?
Yeah, you can just go on like the spring league Twitter page, and they have clips and stuff of what went on.
Yeah, Johnny Football.
People ripping
What
on
up?
Johnny Manziel.
He's...
He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't look
Looked
hot.
pretty good.
I saw the one...
The throws were underthrown or something. They were in the wind, so I don't put too much into that. Actually, I don't put too much into the spring league.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think there's a reason why he shouldn't have a job or get a chance to have a job in training camp.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting to me that in a game situation against
tell me-
other possible professional football players, people can look at his performance and be like, that doesn't matter. This is garbage. None of it matters. But like a pro day is taken as like the holy smokes, this could make or break this kid's career.
Josh Allen, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me that one is a game situation against I shouldn't say as close to the NFL as you can get without being like a bunch of NFL bodies. I don't know.
I think he's still only 26.
Mm-hmm.
Too. So
he's
you're
good.
going to tell me he's got better, or Joe Webb has better value than Johnny Manziel?
Thank you for bringing that up, because I think this is maybe not important, but this is really common. I'm hearing this a lot to compare. Kaepernick is the easiest, or not easiest, but the most common one where it happens, where it's like,
easy.
is he better than the guy that just got signed?
Yeah, he's better than
Well, of course he is.
everybody.
Yeah.
He's better than everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, a ton of those
Not
guys.
everybody, but everyone that's been getting signed. Like
Exactly.
Kevin Hogan just got traded.
Yeah, and so to think, so I guess partially the answer is that Joe Webb is, he's going to be a productive member of a football team. You can tell Joe Webb's going to be a productive member of that.
You don't have to
football
worry
team
about
because
him
any
going
of
on
that
TMZ and stuff.
Yeah, any of that stuff. And Johnny Football's ceiling might be a little bit higher, but from a front office perspective, if you were a GM, if I was a GM of an NFL team, that is an easy decision to make, you know? And conversely,
to pick who? To pick
to
Webb?
pick Joe Webb over a Johnny Football, or to pick Hogan over a Kaepernick. I mean, that, like, although one of those guys could help your football team, the Johnny Football and Joe Webb makes a little bit more sense, because I feel like Kaepernick can help your team more than the detriment of a PR from a PR standpoint. I feel like those don't weigh each other out.
Yeah, I never understand like the negative views of people have on Kaepernick.
Like as a football player, or just as a
person. Like he's donated so much money to charity. He's standing up for human rights. Like, what do you want some person to do? Like, he protested. He used his platform to get noticed, and guess what? Everyone's grandma knows who Colin Kaepernick is now.
It kind of drives me nuts that, like, one is okay because that one doesn't make me uncomfortable, and that one's not okay because that one kind of makes me uncomfortable. Because I think the Kaepernick stuff makes people uncomfortable. But like Tom Brady using his platform to sell a book about how you should drink more water, stretch, and not eat meat, that's totally gravy. We don't even like give it a second thought. And not just Tom Brady in the like, you know, skin color portion of the conversation, but just any other athlete selling a book or selling a, you know, like you don't think twice about that. But why is that?
And a lot of the same people that are against Kaepernick coming back for, you know, controversy or whatever they want to call it, are also pulling for Manziel to come back. So you can't have both. Like, root for two guys who want to have a career in the NFL to have a career. Don't. Yeah. You know, it's either one or the other. You can't, like, don't. It's not like, it just bothers me that people, like, I get you can choose like who's better or the other, but like, why do you care if one gets a job or the other?
Yeah, why does one bother you? Why does
NFL,
one bother somebody?
Like the NFL's official site and Twitter accounts and Facebook or whatever, they're posting tons of Johnny Manziel videos, and everyone's like, oh, why aren't they posting Kaepernick videos? It might have something to do with the fact that Kaepernick's suing the NFL. That might have something to do with it.
Could be a small part of the reason they don't have any videos.
So I don't think
it could be.
I don't think they're picking sides either. But I just don't like when people are like, "Oh, well, everyone's rooting for Manziel, then why doesn't anyone want Kaepernick to get a job?" Or like, people want Kaepernick to get a job. Why don't you want Manziel? Like, they both are trying to get back in the NFL. Just root for that part. Don't worry about other stuff.
Why does there have to be something else? I just don't want him to have that. Well, why? Do you not want everybody to be successful? I don't know. It's just so crazy to me to compare players to each other when situations are completely different. Like to compare Johnny Football to, you know, I mean, he is you cannot use his situation to compare to anybody else that's trying to be a football player in the NFL because it's not going to be the same. And therefore, those front offices are not going to look at it the same. It's the same thing for, like, Tim Tebow. Is Tim Tebow capable of being a backup quarterback in the NFL? Hell yeah, he is. But, well, okay, maybe we could have a conversation on it. But, well, I mean...
That's a talent argument right there.
But the point I'm trying to make is that Tim Tebow will never get that chance because it's too much headache for a front office anywhere to ask or to try and figure out if he is capable of being your backup quarterback, because it's going to be a bigger issue than that because Tim Tebow can't compare to a Hogan or a Joe.
Different though, because I think with Tebow it's like a daily thing where I feel like if Kaepernick got signed, maybe Manziel too. Like it would like be a short rush in the beginning, maybe like a month. People would get questions, and then it would just go back to normal questions. And that would also depend on the franchise. If they went to New York, it'd be way different. Or if they went to Patriots, like the media market matters for sure.
Definitely it does. I want to agree with you. I feel like that probably would be the most likely outcome. But I also, given that it's 2018, am very hesitant to underestimate the power and ridiculousness of the people asking those questions, trying to get clicks for their... Because, I mean, in my head, I think, it probably would blow over eventually because he's just going to be a football player and he's going to be a backup quarterback, you know? So what is, like, the worst thing that could happen? And then I remember that Mike Zimmer was getting asked about his quarterback the week before the NFC Championship game. So,
but that's actually about performance. If they're going to ask about performance, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're going to keep asking about like, why is Kaepernick, why is he donating his money to needy kids every week, or like why is Johnny Manziel not drinking anymore? Like, ask about. Because coaches would do that, though, too. They would be like, especially Zimmer, he would be like, guys, I'm not going to answer any more questions about that unless you want to talk football. If you want to ask a question about football, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm not going to ask. And then Chris Thomason will be like, but what about? And he'll be like, no,
We're not talking about that. Yeah. And I think you're right. And I think that, I guess, is a little bit more towards your point of the situation has to be right. You know, the media itself in the town that you're in would change things. Then also the coaching staff and whoever is in charge. I mean, you know, Pete Carroll might handle that situation a little bit more eloquently than
like a Andy Reid. I think would be
perfect.
Fine to handle either of those situations. He'd be fine. Unlike maybe like someone who just started, like a Doug Peterson or Sean McVay or even John Gruden. He'd be the worst.
Yeah, John Gruden. Woo, John Gruden. That would be fun. That would be
even his brother, Jay Gruden.
Yes,
seems to have some of the similar tendencies. But we did. This conversation was originally about Rodney Adams.
It was. We got. That was.
So he was a fifth round pick by the Vikings last year. He made the final roster. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing because
we branched off.
Yeah, because we got so far off, and then I was like, and I thought it was Greg Childs too. So I'm like, I'm coming all the way. I'm here now though. So he was drafted last year.
Yeah, it was a 5th round pick. He made the team. Mm-hmm. I think he got waived some point during the year and signed to the practice squad, and then the Colts signed him off the Vikings practice squad. And then today, Monday, he retired. But a lot of people are saying that I guess he moved to LA. He's trying to be like an actor or a model and doing some YouTube and stuff like that. So if that's what he wants to do, then that's fine.
Yeah,
he's pretty good at it. I've seen when he did vlogs at Vikings training camp and posted those, and those are pretty entertaining. So, you know, if that's something that he's passionate about, I'm never one not to tell people to not follow their passions. So.
Or not talk about stuff on the internet as we talk about stuff on
the
internet. But
and then people, I saw just like a little while ago, people saying like, oh, he didn't have the work ethic, or he didn't have the mind to like last in the NFL. I'm like, maybe he just wanted to do something else. Mm-hmm. Like maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he wanted to walk when he was 30 years old.
Yeah, or maybe he's thinking that he's got time because how old is a kid? He can't be that old. To take
like
a couple of years to check the LA thing out. If that doesn't work out, you're 24, 25. Try out with the team. I bet they'll know who you are because you were playing.
He's already made an NFL team before. I think he was active for just one game, but he still is one of, the 53 players to make the Vikings roster at the beginning of the year. So,
which is not everybody can do that. That is an impressive thing to be able to do.
It was a little surprising.
I figured out why I didn't recognize his name. It was because Coley wasn't right next to it. Because they were drafted the same year. That's why. So now I'm there. I recognize who that name is. Other names: Charles Johnson to the Jets.
Yeah, hanging out and going to check out Teddy. Mm-hmm. See what he's doing. I don't know if he'll make the team. I think he had a knee injury last year with the Panthers, so he didn't play at all. Mm-hmm. And he was a favorite of Norv Turner, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Like he had potential, but he never really had a quarterback. I don't think that was capable of getting him the ball where it needed to be too. So, but it seems like he has some health issues that are constant because I think he tore his ACL a couple years ago too.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
We always say the best ability is availability.
Yeah, those are some issues. Like he had some stints with the Vikings where he looked really good, and then I think in training camp, a lot of people got really excited about him every time, but just not when they got on the field. Just different story.
Yeah, I've been very excited and very disappointed with him like 3 different times. I'm just like over him as a player.
I mean, it's good. It's a good story. I think he was a 7th round pick, so I mean, he's come far. He's still in the league. Mm-hmm. Which happened for a lot of 7th round picks.
What else I don't know. WrestleMania. Former Vikings in WrestleMania. Mr. Brock Lesnar, who also he wore. Speaking of numbers, I think he
69.
wore. Yeah, he did.
I was watching the highlights of him the other day.
Roman Reigns? What's his what was
Joe
his Vikings name?
Anoi.
Oh yeah,
It's Simone.
Simone. Yeah.
So.
A
But they were both.
apostrophe
Yeah,
O,
they were both. Yep, they were both defensive tackles. I think Lesnar lasted like a preseason, and then Reigns / whatever his other name is. That's like a month. I think he was signed as an undrafted rookie, so they probably signed him to be in like rookie mini camp and then to get a look at him. I was actually watching some of his highlights from he played at Georgia Tech, and he was kind of dirty. Like
Really?
yeah, like quarterbacks would throw the ball, and like 5 seconds later, you'd like lay him out a couple times.
Awesome.
Like clearly don't have the ball in their hands anymore. Whatever, that works. That works in the wrestling ring, and
yeah,
I mean, it
that's probably what Vince McMahon saw.
clearly
and was
didn't work for him last
sign
night though.
him up.
But
yeah. You watched
bloody
WrestleMania.
mess in there.
I watched WrestleMania. What was your favorite moment of the evening, WrestleMania wise? If you had to pick one.
Gotta go with Daniel Bryan coming back, seeing that whole stadium doing the yes chant.
Yes, that was going to be my moment.
Gets you
I'm
all
such a
tingling
sucker.
inside.
Yeah, I'm such a sucker for stadiums doing the same things with their hands at the same time.
Yeah.
That was that was super cool. And also AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. That was a really cool match. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Immensely.
There's some good stuff. It was a good one. The ending just not so much. But former Viking Brock Lesnar apparently is re-signed with WWE too, so he's not going back to UFC.
Oh, that's good. They're a mess right now. They got people attacking their buses.
Yeah, I did see that. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
Making gingers look horrible. Ruining our reputation.
For real.
He was supposed to be
already trying to convince
supposed
the
to be
world
like
we're not soulless, and this guy's
way too happy or just too drunk
Yeah.
to even do anything.
gotta find a happy medium.
He's just really angry for some reason.
Speaking of the WWE angle, percent chance that whole thing was staged, because UFC has had, maybe it's already gone, they had their big event. Can't name a single guy competing, but I can name one guy.
A lot of them had to withdraw because of that
yeah,
Bucks
which
thing.
maybe leads me to believe it wasn't staged, but if that was a work, that was awesome. Yeah, and he did get arrested. I mean, he took one for the team for sure, but
I'll give it. I'll just
I'm pretty
pay
sure.
$50,000.
Well, he's got a cajillion. He's rich, so that's probably chump change for him. He flew.
Like
he was so mad. He flew from Ireland to they were in Las Vegas, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Flew private jet angrily. It was like
that or
normal humans get into a car and drive someplace. Now for like 2 blocks, they're like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is crazy. He was in a plane for real.
It's like some old school, like East Coast, West Coast rapper stuff.
I can't really defend like his behavior or some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, but I really enjoy Conor McGregor and watching him just be he just terrorizes everything. He's like the Tasmanian devil.
That Mayweather is trying to fight in an MMA fight.
Oh,
He would get destroyed.
Yes, yeah, no, exactly. Top 5 things like I want to happen.
People would pay to see it. Obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 5 for sure would be Mayweather either getting knocked unconscious or getting choked out, because he's such a.
I would love to see that anyways. I think that's why people would pay to see that happen.
The way he boxes, where you just can't hit him. He's too fast. He's all, and then to watch him
can't go anywhere in a cage. You can't can't lock him up or have like the ref.
Have the ref split it up. Oh, it would be so perfect. I can't think of it. It's never going to happen, so I can't get excited about it right now.
Don't say never.
I thought for sure Conor McGregor would never box either. So
in this day and age, the Jersey Shore is back. Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, all bets are off, man.
Never know.
Oh, Jersey Shore. Let's leave that for next week.
Let's let's not dive into that rabbit hole.
For real. We can
Brian,
talk about numbers, controversy. We can talk about Colin Kaepernick, but let's not go Jersey Shore.
Well,
today.
The draft is coming up, so I did want to ask you, like, what is there like a specific position that you think the Vikings should try and get with their first round pick, or do you think that it should just be best player available between like their needs? Because they need like interior offensive line, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
People don't think they need defensive tackle because they got Sheldon Richardson, but he's only on a 1-year deal, and there's very small chance that he's going to come back after this year. Nickel corner. They need probably an athletic tight end.
Mm-hmm. You know, I would prefer, I guess, the second version of that.
Quarterback.
Yeah, QB, obviously. Well, kicker, punter, rounds 1 and 2.
I don't know if they'll ever draft.
No, they shouldn't, because they got Quigley, and they should get rid of. Anyways, I think I think the most important thing they need is the offensive line. So I would like to see them do that in the first round. The nice part about offensive linemen is that you can get serviceable ones later on in the later rounds, in the 4th, 5th. Yeah. So
3rd round.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would like them. I don't think they should pass on somebody they think is going to be a game changer, but then part of my brain goes, but they thought Laquan Treadwell was. So yeah, for sure take an offensive lineman with the first round. And to be perfectly honest with you, I would like to see him do first round and second round for the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a lottery ticket, Just grab one. They're probably going to be really good.
I don't know. About that. I think they have a couple needs they have to take care of first before they draft multiple. But then again, they could get multiple first or second round picks because Spielman only has 8 picks right now. And
Did you see that?
He likes having multiple picks, and I think last year he made 7 trades.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
That's a ton. I think he's going to make moves. I think he's going to do a lot of stuff here. I think
he's made 23 since 2012.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Honest to God, that's like my favorite part about the draft now, is just waiting to see what he does.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't even care who they like.
They can trade compensatory picks, so that's why there was a ton more trades last year.
And there's no reason for us to believe that won't continue this year. Right?
No. And then I was looking up before we started that the NFL schedule should probably be released within the next 2 weeks. The latest it's been released is April 23rd. That was in 2014. And it's usually released, the past years it's been released on a Thursday. I believe like April 19th is around that time. And that's a Thursday, so I would think that the schedule will probably be released around then.
All right. They're probably just waiting for winter to get over for those of us.
And then we can do, a way too early prediction for the Viking season.
Game by game.
For pre-draft, the exciting stuff that people love.
Woo. Super excited.
Have you done any mock drafts on Sporting Soda yet?
I have not. We have not. That is my plan. This week is going to be the big draft week. We're going to get into it.
Oh yeah. Get into it.
Good for me too, because I, honest to God, I haven't looked at much prospect wise, and I got a lot of research to do on these guys and figure it out. I was going to ask you. I get frustrated this time of year because I feel like I'm wasting good research time on players who aren't ever going to play for my favorite team. Mm-hmm. That's just part of the deal.
Well, that's the fun of it.
Yeah, I know. See, that's not fun.
All that's speculation. You never know. Because then you find guys that you like a lot, and you're
you get to keep an eye on for.
I want them, and then if they get drafted, you're like, ooh, I like that.
What are they?
There's a guy just like that. There's a guy on, I think, NC State this year. His name's Jalen Samuels. I like him a lot. He's like an H-back because he's too big to be a running back and too small to be a tight end. But he's like a slightly slower version of Percy Harvin because he returns kicks and runs really good routes and can carry the ball out of the backfield. And I'm like, ooh, that would be really fun to be on the Vikings.
What round is he projected to go in? Who is this? See, this is what I
Jalen,
need to...
see? Yeah, that's why you got to do research.
That's what I'm saying. Next week, you wait. Next week, next Monday, I'm gonna come back and
Like
just
third or fourth.
fire.
We could talk draft next week. We can do some draft stuff. Go over some stuff.
Definitely.
I don't think anyone's talked about draft stuff on any other podcast, so we'll probably be the first to talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unlike us to be first at stuff. But,
No mock drafts have come out yet since the playoffs started.
Yeah,
So.
well, and we'll be which is good because we'll stay ahead of the game that way. So,
And we got to compete with Mel Kiper because he gets 80% of his predictions right according to his bio on ESPN.
where do you get those numbers? Good sir? Look, I respectfully disagree with that percentage.
That indeed is fake news.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Well, that's fake news. It's a great place to stop. We covered a lot. This might have been our best episode ever.
I think this is like a Seinfeld kind of podcast. I feel like we talked a whole lot about nothing.
Yes, I think you're right. But I think people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got into some good discussions.
Yeah. Dude, I think Seinfeld. We are the Seinfeld of Vikings podcast. I think we could run with that.
I think we need a new theme song.
I think,
Throw that in there.
yeah, we do. Already got one.
Oh boy.
It's already done. All right, bud. Let's go Vikings.
Talk next week. All right, bye.
Later.